All right, here we go. Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, April 2nd. April Fool's Day's over. Hopefully, you didn't get fooled too much. What am I saying? Anyway, good morning today. Yeah, like I said, today's April 2nd, and we're going to keep showing up. We're going to keep showing up. It's all a game of showing up. So, hopefully, we can read the market correctly today. Yesterday, I should have been more aware that we were high resistant conditions, and that we were expanding up. But every day we just get a little better. So we have a weekly volume imbalance that I'm looking at right now. That's kind of the most obvious thing on the chart right here is this weekly volume imbalance. Looks like we pushed up into it, rejected it a little bit. But anyway, we're going to go top down. We had unemployment claims just come out. So let's go ahead and put this in the Discord here. And let's get going. And I don't care what anyone says. I'm going to keep showing up because I know the power of showing up. I know the power of just being there to take a really good trade. And that's why I keep showing up, because I know that is so powerful. So let me go ahead and screenshot this and put it. Hey, Kirk's here. Good morning, Kirk. We keep showing up. We're here again. And I wish I was a little bit more consistent with everything else too, but I mean, being on the charts of trade is by far the most important, but I wish I could just be back testing every night. I wish I could do a market recap every night, make a video and stuff, and do the short form videos every day, but like I only have so much energy and I'm trying my best, so it's easy to get drained. But the most important thing for me is just showing up to live trade, because that's where I improve the most. I'm not gonna lie, guys, it actually looks like the daily for value gap is rejecting price really nicely. That looks like basically what is happening here is the daily gap is just clearly rejecting price. So, but we should go top down. So let's go top down here. I got Tradeovate open already. I got out Discord. I got out Forex Factory. We just had unemployment claims. Let me get out SB Pro X. Hey, good morning, Snowman. We just keep showing up, man. It's so... I'm so stubborn. This week has been terrible for me, but I just keep showing up. I mean, the reality is, like, I know the way I trade, and I like, for instance, last week, I had a couple trades that hit 4R, would have hit 4R, that I just messed up the way I took profit on them. Like, I don't know. I know the way I trade is it has potential to like I can have really, really good days, and I'm just stubborn. So, but I'm never gonna not show up. It's exhausting, yeah. It's demotivating, yeah. But I don't care. I'm not here to be emotional about it. I mean, eventually will I have to take a break from live trading once I fall below the amount that I need to be able to live trade? Yeah, I will have to, and I'll have to go back to trading demo. But, bro, I'm not going to stop showing up. I'm stubborn. I am so stubborn. So, anyway, and every day I just learn a little bit. Like, I should have been more aware yesterday. We were high resistant to the downside and that the market was bullish. So, I guess let's just start from top down, go weekly down here, and get an idea of what we got going on. So, I just opened up SB Pro. So, if I'm ever looking at SB Pro, that means I won't be able to read chat because I'm using my center monitor for SB Pro, which covers up my OBS, so I can't read chat when that happens. But anyway, I'm not looking at it right now, so we're good. It's mostly for when I get right around market open and we really start to get into those low time frames where I'm looking for those quick absorption and then trade in the other direction or something like that, you know. So, anyway, let's go ahead and start. Today is April. Did you catch the Trump dump last night? I wasn't. I need to trade demo more often for those kind of things, but I wasn't watching the charts. I was busy, but I ended up backtesting a little bit last night. But yeah, last night the dump was crazy. There was just a massive dump. Like I said, I should start trading Asia on demo more often. It would be kind of fun. Asia and London, honestly, just to get more practice, right? I mean, I don't see anything wrong with that. April 2nd, 2026, and then today is Thursday. Why does it feel like I can't see my own screen in the chart? Okay. I'm trying to fix this so I can really actually see my screen. Okay. April 2nd, 2026. Thursday. Yeah, let's just go top down. So, as we've been saying, right, weekly gap here. Weekly breaker here. I don't even know if we should mark this out because, sometimes you can't go too high time frame, but I'm going to just start here. Weekly gap. And this is why I honestly should get on the charts a little earlier, because I always like to start out on the highest time frame, and it's like, okay, well, I should be probably getting on the charts a little earlier if I'm going to do that, but whatever. So we obviously held this. Remember I said that we held this with S&T with YM. Let's go ahead and see if that S&T with YM is still there. Right? So there's still SMT with YM. So there is a potential for us to still hold this. Like, I know everyone's saying it's bearish and all this, and it might be because the daily gap is rejecting price, but objectively speaking, we swept out equal lows into this weekly gap, and we're getting V-shaped recovery. So I'm just saying, I'm gonna look at the charts objectively and kind of ignore what everyone's saying, just because I think that's the best way for anyone to look at the charts. So yeah, I mean, yesterday, had I had done that and ignored kind of the whole Trump thing, then I would have been more aware to be bullish, because the Trump thing threw me off. Everyone's like, oh, Trump tweeted we're going to be bearish today. And so in my head, I associated this, it has to be bearish thing because Trump said something. And I'm like, why am I not trusting myself to remember that, a lot of the time these things Trump says, they induce people one way to take it the other way. Why am I not trusting myself more? And so I knew the draw on liquidity was probably to fill the RTH gap to the upside, and I should have just trusted myself. And so, anyway, at the end of the day, I'm just going to trust myself. And same with you guys. That's exactly what you should do, too. Alright. So, boom, boom, and as well, it's like this is nicely efficiently delivered. So we still got some time to. We got 50 minutes till market open. So we should probably pick up the pace here, because I'm on the weekly chart still, and that's not good. And I should get on the charts a little earlier. So bang, bang. And then next I'll look at the daily gap, right? So the daily gap, let's put this in weekly. So next the daily, it's the daily chart here. Boom. Daily gap clear here, clearly rejecting price. It's an unmitigated gap, meaning we have not used it yet. And we also filled the daily gap really nicely. Why does my mic feel like it's in the way today? I don't know why, but it does. Anyway, it's okay. So daily gap is rejecting price. Let's see if we had SMT with that high. We do have SMT with YM with this high. So it's a big reason for this. Let me check S&P. Yeah, it's with YM, right? There's an SMT with YM with that high, bearish SMT. I didn't even need my SMT indicator to spot that. That was nice. Let's get my true opens out really quickly, see if there's true month open or true week open or anything like that. So yeah, true month open, true week open. Bearish SMT. What's good? What's up, Lemon? How's it going? So yeah, daily unmitigated gap got filled and rejected. True open's not helpful yet. So I'm gonna get rid of this and this. Now we're gonna shift our focus to the daily chart here, and basically we filled this daily unmitigated gap like this. Good. Just trying to get our information here. I'm not gonna stop showing up. I'm stubborn. I'm really stubborn. Honestly, I should really get on the charts slightly earlier, because I like to go on the very highest time frame down, and so that means I should really get on the charts at like 8 a.m. Eastern, because I spend quite a bit of time. My first time trading in 2 weeks because of school. Yeah, bro, that's totally the realest thing. I mean, the important thing is you just keep showing up, even when you have to take breaks. Just eventually come back to the charts. And I was telling a lot of people like even like trade demo when there are a lot of days where you need to trade demo, and just trade demo instead, because you know it's about showing up and getting those reps in. It's not about whether it's real live trading or not, right? Or on a prop firm. If you like trade demo, get the reps in, show up. Okay, so daily unmitigated gap. You can see we filled this really nicely. We got SMT with YM here. Boom. So that kind of catches my attention, honestly, because the most recent SMT is the one that really is significant here. But then again, we could be getting a new SMT, but I will admit this is somewhat interesting. Now, maybe I should have spotted it yesterday, but it's all good. So, boom. Now, I maybe should keep that weekly gap on the chart, but we'll see. We'll see. So, I guess let's just keep dropping down time frames, because I don't want to be on the highest time frame. And I might actually keep that weekly gap on the chart. But just keep it on, like, just as a, like, mostly just a reference. Okay. So, daily, I usually align the daily with the 1 hour. You're leaning on bullish today? Yeah, it's totally valid, because, once again, expanding away from this weekly gap here, And you know, the way it might still be bullish expansion week because it should be because we manipulated true week open at the low, which was really actually pretty nice. So let's actually bring this SMT back. I don't know why I keep getting rid of stuff and then adding it back to my chart. Sorry guys, I just I have to kind of go with the flow here. Okay. So, like I was saying, we have true week open here that got manipulated. So, I want to show you guys this, right? This is a confluence for me that's like, okay, that honestly could be kind of bullish because look at how it like wicks down and fills the weekly gap into below true week open. And then Monday starts expanding. So then Tuesday starts expanding. So maybe we get continuation on Thursday and Friday. Once again, we still have the LRLR above here. And honestly, that might be the strongest target. Now then again, there is an RTH gap here to the downside. But I really like how we manipulated true week open. I like how we're below true, what is this? I like how we're below midnight here. I mean, we're like also like to the downside. What draw? Well, there's honestly no draws to the downside or the upside. To be fair, right? Like, but the next real like clear target. There's really two. There's the RTH gap to the downside, and then there's low resistance highs here. We're just getting our information here. So, boom. So you could make the case that it's bullish expansion week to these highs up here, but we'll see. Any SMT? I'm not seeing any SMT, but I think we'll be within this BPR here. So I'm still going to put in weekly profiles that it could be a bullish expansion week. I'm aware of this idea, right? It could, and with this LRLR being the target. I'm going to get rid of this for a second. Keep it for actually a little bit longer. Just because the way we're below Monday true week open, and then this is low resistance above. So I'm getting rid of stuff, but I'll add it back as necessary, right? Because I like framing it with a clean framework. I don't want to have it be messy. So with that in mind, here's a 4-hour CISD, and that's our line time frame with the weekly. And then let's project this out, right? We might want project this out. 3 projections. We still have 4 projections resting up there. So you can see how nicely we got 3 projections here. So this is why I just like to flip back and forth between the biases, like, okay, bullish, bearish, bullish, because it's easier to think when the ideas don't conflict for me. So I like to actually just flip back and forth to frame the models, and then really slowly just get an idea. Okay, so yeah, weekly I'm gonna get a gap. True week open, bang, whipsawed and filled that weekly implied gap there. Lemon's leaning on bullish today. You can see, by the way, how we use this 4-hour CASD here. Boom! Right up to 3 projections. We got 4 projections up here. Low resistance highs. And then midnight. You can see how we use the CISD right there. I mean, look at how precisely the market will use these concepts and then wonder how that could be possible unless smart money trades like this. Because smart money does trade like this, right? So 4 projections. So here are these low resistance highs and equal highs actually. Honestly, I think that will probably be the target, right? I'm really starting to lean towards that idea. So what I'll probably look for then is continuation to the upside, right? Because I think it's a bullish expansion week. And yeah, manipulation of true week open. We're below true day open. And then we're within a BPR. Honestly, I'm expecting us to get continuation probably and have this be market maker buy model. And then eventually, what's this? That's the data high. We have the data high. So this will probably end up being a market maker buy model. 4 projections takes us to the data high, but then eventually, to these equal highs, but then eventually back up to the data high. You know what? This actually looks pretty obvious now that I'm looking at it. And then actually, it's not just equal highs, but all of this becomes low resistance. Oh, you can't see my screen. Oh, shoot. Right, so honestly looks like a buy model with the weekly and the 4-hour. Right, so this seems like a weekly 4-hour market maker buy model. And relative equal highs above, data high above, right? Data high is probably going to be at 5 projections of this. I mean, this is the most simple, obvious answer, and sometimes that is the answer that you want to really actually go off of, is just, okay, what's the most simple and obvious thing the market is showing me, and then go from there. And honestly, we've used this weekly gap here. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. Yeah, I'm gonna probably lean towards bullish expansion week here, back up to the data high with basically all of this being low resistant, right? I'd cut through candles here, and I would say honestly we're probably gonna have all of this be low resistant, like from here to here. You see how the bodies kind of give it away, right? The bodies give away a little bit that this is all low resistant, that we're gonna come on the other side of the curve here and run all this. That's at least what I'm seeing here. I think this is the right idea, honestly. And then 4 projections, all this, like this low resistant liquidity will be really nice once we eventually come back to it. I think this is the right idea, and then buy model from here, and then right hand side of the curve here. Okay. I mean, it's almost like it's straight from the textbook. It's pretty clear market maker buy model. So now we're back within this BPR here. Yeah, I'm seeing this as a market maker buy model, and then yeah, Thursday and Friday finish the bullish classic expansion week, take us up to the objective, which in my opinion is the data high for the week. That's probably the objective. So, okay, that's my idea for the week. So now, with that in mind, we're within a giant gap. It's a 4-hour BPR. I mean, yeah. Now, I guess it's important to understand there's an RTH gap down here. But like it's pretty, the RTH gap down there is pretty close, but I don't know, man. I don't think the market's going to ignore the data high here. I could be so wrong. So anyway, let's mark out this 4-hour BPR. And we're below midnight. Let's drop down an even lower time frame here. Boom, boom, boom. So there's midnight. We still got 27 minutes till market open. No, 37 minutes. So, but also, we might need to fill the 4-hour BPR, right? You can make that claim. But I think this is the weekly idea. We might need to dig deeper into this. Once again, there is an RTH gap to the downside. Good morning, random guy. Yeah, so like just because this is the model, or if this is the market maker buy model, Jake Garner as always, I'm showing up, man. I'm showing up. Even if this is the market maker buy model, doesn't mean we can't necessarily fill the gap or whatever, but we'll see. Bro, just keep showing up. Just keep showing up. So, once again, I like to frame ideas and then get rid of everything. Re-scrap, and then rewrite, and then scrap, rewrite. And then I have all the ideas in my head, right? So, I think I'm going to re-scrap here and get rid of stuff. And then look at something else. So, but I'm also going to get out 7:30. ICEC. Wait, what are you thinking for today? Is that... Anyway. There's 7:30. Okay, yeah, let's re-scrap everything and let's move down to the 4-hour, right? Because we've been on the weekly and the daily. Let's move down to the 4-hour here. We have this idea in mind. Yeah, so I'm gonna get rid of everything here. It means nice. Oh, okay. Nice. Okay, gonna get rid of everything, move down to a lower time frame. And reanalyze new ideas. Right. You're definitely bullish. Yeah, that's valid. Okay. So, gonna get rid of everything now. So, we have a 4-hour BPR. Important to also recognize there is an RTH gap to the downside. I'm not gonna ignore this, right? It's here. There's an RTH gap to the downside. It would put us right around true week open. So, I'm not gonna ignore this. This is here. Right? I'm gonna take note of everything. I'm gonna take note of everything because I think it's important to just have all the pieces to understand really why the market's gonna do what it's gonna do. I don't want to overcomplicate. That's why I get rid of stuff on the chart, right? If the market was to seek this out, how would this look? So if I want to get that back, then I'll bring it back. So I think it's pretty unlikely because honestly, we would have to get all the way through this BPR, right? But there is equal lows here. Anyway, I'm gonna just note this gap, noting the RTH gap down below. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah, aware of the RTH gap below. Will there be an RTH gap that forms today? Yeah, so the RTH gap that'll form today will be to the upside. So that is in line with basically what we want. So that's perfect. I'm going to rather trust the one that forms today because I don't know. I think Mondays will stay unfilled, honestly. So today's RTH gap will form to the upside. So I'm going to get out that 4-hour BPR again. And actually the weekly gap. Maybe. Okay. So 4-hour BPR, do we want to look at this as a 4-hour BPR or do we want to look at it as something else? And maybe we want to see if there's old volume imbalances over on the left here. Right? So I actually want to mark this out. Open, close. That's just a really obvious volume imbalance. So from the close to the open. So this is a weekly volume balance. Let's see if the market's using this. Bro, I'm so glad I looked at that. That makes it like night and day. Wow. I'm so glad I looked at that. Weekly volume imbalance here. And we can actually, let's mark the date. This is from June 30th. I'm so glad I marked that out. That's like a lifesaver. Wow. That makes things pretty clear for me. So now the RTH gap is above. So yeah, boom to boom, right? So here's that weekly volume imbalance. Look at how the market's efficiently filling this right now. Oh, I'm very glad that I noticed that. So June 30th weekly volume balance, right? Market is using that, also still using this 4-hour BPR, and we're below midnight, below 7:30. So we have efficiently delivered this so far. Ooh, that looks really good. Okay. June 30th weekly volume balance. Right, so let's put this in, what am I on, the hourly chart? So we might align this with like a 5-minute, right? It's also a 1 hour, I actually like the 1-hour BPR a lot. It really gives a lot of clarity to this situation. The 1-hour BPR, that's the true and efficient section of price. And then look at how the market's respecting that. So boom, boom, boom. Let's drop down to a 5-minute. Okay, so I really like this a lot. I like this a lot. The 1-hour BPR. And then here's midnight. And then here's 7:30. And I think 7:52 was manipulated as well. Okay, this is really, really nice. Wow. And then all of these highs are low resistance. We have equal highs above. Dang, I think this is actually pretty clear bias, actually. Hopefully we can take a good trade today. So yeah, 1-hour BPR as well. I'm liking this. I'm liking this a lot. I think 7:52 is getting manipulated on the other side of the curve here. One-hour BPR being held nicely as well. Boom. So 7:52.30. Let's get that pulled up. Right. So we have 7:52.30 souped on the right-hand side of the curve here. Maybe we need an internal sweep below it, but we'll see. So we'll probably want to see SMT somewhere. But, I mean, right now, we're sitting at this situation where we have a 1 hour BPR and now 5-minute inversion for value gap. So this is a 1 hour, 5-minute model, possibly. And we have low resistant highs, equal highs. Honestly, I would treat this as void. I wouldn't treat this as an external gap. Where's LV? What? Oh, it's the wrong bot. I'm selecting the wrong thing. So we definitely want to put a gradient on this. So yeah, I'm really leaning towards this idea that this weekly volume balance was efficiently delivered. And that 5-minute inversion will start to move us towards these LRLR and equal highs above. So I mean, if you could get a pretty high RR trade if you just somehow get an entry within here up towards these LRLR and equal highs, and you know, we got market open at 10 a.m. to do the job. So now, could we need an internal sweep into the gap? Sure, right? I'll be patient. Yeah, I'm seeing this as a buy model. I'm seeing this as accumulation. This is manipulation. And then this is distribution. We should probably figure out where London and Asia are. See if someone said something. FA says taking shorts. That was 10 minutes ago. FA says we think we'll draw at least 200 points lower. Alright. So I like this order block. Once again, no internal sweep yet. No internal sweep. That is the most biggest red flag that we have. No internal sweep yet on this market maker buy model. That is my biggest red flag. Right? So I'm really concerned about that. I am, honestly. I'm pretty concerned about that. So we might need to reseek the low. Honestly, if we can get SMT on the 5-minute with this with these lows at the bottom of the gap, that would give me a lot of conviction. So let's go ahead and mark out SMT indicator. What's an internal sweep? Watch my video on internal versus external sweep, but like basically like you know, we basically come down, sweep the low here. So that, or maybe we sweep into the rejection block with SMT, right? So internal sweep, so external sweep is like a sweep of like this high, right? We sweep out an old high from a long time ago. If it's from not a long time ago, like if it's a recent low, like this low, let's say we came down, we sweep this low, and then this market maker model plays out like this, and then we have an inversion for value gap here. This would be an internal liquidity sweep because because it's a recent low, right? Yeah, I think, guys, we're gonna need to see an internal liquidity sweep for this with SMT for this model to really to become a really high probability model. Right now, it just doesn't have that yet. Even though this has been efficiently delivered, I don't think that means we have to go higher yet. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong about this kind of stuff before. So, okay, let's drop down to a lower time frame because market open is occurring. Honestly, what I'm thinking is low time frame is going to be high resistant. We'll get an internal sweep of liquidity. Yeah. I think low time frame is going to be high resistant, and then we'll reverse, and then higher time frame this becomes a buy model. So honestly, I do want to put a gradient on this gap. Yeah, I think low time frame we stay high resistant here to get this internal sweep of liquidity. I mean, you can see there's an SMT there. There's also bullish SMT, but yeah, that's kind of what I'm actually thinking. I think low time frame stays high resistant. We get a sweep of, because once again we're gonna have to get through this massive gap. This is a void, but it's also a gap. So I think in the short term, this stays high resistant. We drop lower. Let's actually bring this over here. And then bring this over as well. So yeah, in the short term, I see this staying high resistant, giving us the internal sweep of liquidity that we need to really give us the conviction for this buy model. And then at that point, the buy model, I could see it playing out. Right? Classic market open Judas swing, right? So I don't think we'll go up till probably 10 a.m. Then finally get the internal sweep. And then the true move begins like this. Maybe we just go here and then we get SMT with the low or something. This, I would still classify this as internal sweep of liquidity, right? And maybe we reuse the one on this gap. Ooh, now that would be fun. That would be fun. So higher, I'm expecting this to be high resistant liquidity. Run down, sweep these lows. And then eventually retrace back up, maybe back up to the high of that weekly volume balance. So I'm gonna screenshot this. I'm taking 2 minute long with low quant. I think we're gonna go lower. I think this is gonna be high resistant on the low time frame. Kind of think we need an internal sweep for this buy model to play out. So I think low time frame will be high resistant into market open, and we dig lower and eventually get a sweep and IPG and reverse, and the HRLR becomes LRLR. And then like maybe like SMT, right? What would give me a lot of conviction in this is SMT. SMT with this low. So we'll see. We'll see. So let's really drop down to low time frame because we got 9 minutes till market open. And yeah, I'm really just expecting this to run us lower. 922.30 about to form. Equal highs here. So these will be probably the target for whatever trade I take, honestly. So yeah, expecting this to be high resistant. We got a new bearish S&T here, and then sweep of these lows here. Maybe reusing of this, and then we go higher. We'll have the 928 true open soon, and at this point, I think I'm gonna get out SB Pros. So I'm gonna I'm gonna stop reading chat because I want to look at SB Pro. I think we're gonna run down, and then this will be low resistant on the way up, and then we run back to the equal highs, maybe back up to the high of the weekly volume balance, maybe up to these equal highs. Ooh, now we're talking. You see those? Now we're talking. I think that's going to be a nice target as well. So, boom. Take out all the true opens. Once again, we're below midnight as well. And then rip up. Run both of these equal highs. Honestly, I wouldn't target past that because as much as I do think this will be low resistance, well, honestly, you could take profit with stop loss. Rip, break even. Actually, yeah, that's what I would do. Is once you run these equal highs, it's possible we keep going higher. Take profit with stop loss. If this is liquidity void, you turn a 10-hour trade or you turn a 3-hour trade or a 4-hour trade into a 15-hour trade because we got these equal highs up here. You get what I'm saying? So you might be able to take advantage of a lower time frame model and turn it into a higher time frame model, right? So I will take profit with stop loss if we get something like this. Okay. So yeah, I'm expecting this to be high resistant. Tape read the short here, right? There's probably a short off of this 1 minute gap and then 15-second change in state to the downside. Right? Tape read this. Yeah, 1 minute fair value gap. See how time and price aren't aligned and this 1 minute fair value gap is rejecting price. So pay attention to, there's probably going to be a gap down here. Yeah, 15-minute gap. So pay attention to this 15-minute gap. Maybe we want to go to a 5-minute actually. Yeah, let's run it down to a 5-minute gap. And I want to see this 5-minute gap basically get used. Maybe even the 3-minute gap. Or even the 1-minute gap. But I think this is all accumulation here. Where's the most obvious gap here? Is it a 5-minute gap, 15-minute gap? What do you guys think? I'm thinking it's, you know, it's probably this 15-minute gap here. That's probably what it is. But we want to include the volume imbalance at the bottom. So I'm going to mark this out like this. And probably look for 15-minute, 1 minute, or 30, or yeah, about a 1 minute or a 30-second or a whatever move back up. Or a 3-minute or something. We'll see. But I am not doing anything till probably after market open. Oh, at least. I will tape read shorts as always, like I did that one day. We had a, you know, shorts that worked out that I tape read, and then I took the longs. Do you remember that? This is last Thursday that happened, actually. It's exactly 1 week ago, where I tape read the shorts and then I took the longs. Still 1 minute fair value gap holding price here. Yeah, I want to see us reject this and have this stay high resistant. Or it's just going to ruin all my plans, huh? Well, I guess time and price are ready. 2 minutes left. We still might go lower. Once again, I've wanted to be bullish, so. Now you run into this breaker here. Once again, I'm going to be tape reading shorts. If we end up, you know, continuing up to these equal highs, which obviously is my eventual target that I want, well, then at that point, dang, that's so annoying. Yeah, if we do eventually continue up to these equal highs, I have to probably take a higher time frame entry, or I'll just watch for the first line for value gap. Once again, it's not like this couldn't happen. I want to see an internal liquidity sweep, really. And then eventually go higher. So it's reaching up for those equal highs. Whatever. If this, you know, obviously, I'm just going to be sitting on my hands if there's nothing I like. I'm going to get out Tradevate. Okay, and then SP Pro. I'm going to get out SP Pro because I do want to see absorption real time. So I won't be reading chat anymore. We just got a market sell order of 49 cons. Alright, so boom. Market open. Looks like must have been some kind of outside bar, huh? Oh, it was a 3. Look at the 3-minute. Almost had an outside bar type of thing. So maybe this stays high resistant, right? That's an idea. We just formed an S&T. Once again, there's been no internal liquidity sweep on this model. That's just something that I really wanted to see. Now we're pushing up into a suspension block on the 5-minute. I mean on the 1-minute. Unmitigated suspension block. So you can tape read the shorts here. This breaker for VALUE is no longer relevant. Now it's very bullish. I really don't know if there's gonna be shorts. Once again, if this thing can break to the upside, then well, then it'll break to the upside, and then we're gonna run out all of those low resistance highs. And market open will do that. This is a lot of displacement. Alright, looks like we're probably going to break it. Where's the first limit for value gap? That's probably the main way to get in on a trade like this. Now we got a PM first limit for value gap here around midnight open. This might actually be a short opportunity into this high resistant liquidity curve. I don't think there's a first line for value gap yet. We had a market buyer of 24 cons at the high. 1-minute suspension block still holding price here. Okay, so we just got change in state down. If you want to take the shorts, I think that is not bad. So I'll just tape read this. Reason being is it's just super bullish, and I really want this to turn L or LR, in all honesty. So I don't really want shorts, but these shorts might play out. Whoops. We also did not soup midnight, which is just a big red flag for if you wanted to short. There is stacked S&Ts, but once again, I really want to see longs here. We're obviously getting some expansion, really aggressive expansion, right, towards this target. First presented for value gap. Come on, where are we gonna get it or no? There's no first presented for value gap, so let's just be patient. Let's see if anyone said anything. Dang, bro, I'm sorry. Once again, this is the tricky thing about these liquidity curves is they sometimes, you know, they will be low resistant. This will be low resistant, but it's just not yet necessarily. I could tell you what would give me conviction that it would become low resistant is if we inverse the first sentence for value gap. That would that'd give me a lot of conviction. So at this point, let's get rid of this, and just be aware that this is a 1-minute gap. Even though it's not the first sentence for value gap, it is a 1-minute gap, and it's been efficiently delivered. So it's an unmitigated 1-minute gap, and we are getting a 5-second change in state here. So now, once again, I would like to see this turn low resistant. I know it's a higher time frame model, so I guess if this inverses here, we could just run this to continue up. The thing is, yeah, we could just run it up to the equal highs, and I think that would be reasonable. Once again, though, Should there be an internal sweep? Maybe. So, change in state still bringing us lower here. Now we have inversed this gap. This really, once again, if we inverse the first presented for value gap, it's going to give me conviction in longs. Once again, I want to see longs. We've already manipulated 730 and 752. I need 952. Where's 952? I mean 922. 922.30 is right here. So honestly, I want to see 922.30 get souped here. That would give me a lot of conviction. So watch and see if this soups with SMT. And honestly, I think it will. Now it looks like this could be a 2022 model. Maybe a retest of this 5-minute CISD. Right? Let me pull up the low time from True Open. Okay. Once again, I'm still expecting longs. This is what I wanted to see. It's just been a little bit more tricky than I would expect. But this is what I wanted to see, is kind of this manipulation. You can't understand people who are bullish. Well, I think it's a buy model to these equal highs. I want to see internal liquidity sweep and then continuation higher. Looks like, yeah, look at these low resistance highs. Now, once again, there's the equal lows below. We might need to come down into this. Okay, we got the first presented for value gap yet. I'm not closed-minded to taking shorts because you could make the case this is a high resistant liquidity curve. And we need to run down internal sweep of the low. It's just trades to take low resistant liquidity are much simpler. Honestly, I think this is going to be a propulsion block to the upside. I think it's a 1 minute OB, 1 minute PB. I think here, honestly, you look for Dynamis to the upside. So boom, boom. I think you look for Dynamis here, and it looks like we're probably going to get it. Now, there's no internal sweep yet, but could this play out as Dynamis? Yes. Yes, it could. 5-second change in state here. I'm not going to take this because I just don't. I got wrecked before taking a Dynamis without internal liquidity sweep. But it's definitely sparking my curiosity, right? RTH gap is still to the upside. It's a massive gap to the upside. You would think, I would at least say, target the RTH 0.25. Right? That's a reasonable place to target. Even if you're wrong, we should at least go to the 0.25. Right? Now my chart's getting a little messy. I'm still bullish. Once again, this is kind of what I wanted to see us come to, is this 15-minute for value gap anyways. Below all the true opens. So basically coming at least to the 0.25 of the RTH gap to me makes a lot of sense. Or even, I guess the 0.125 really actually held nicely. We're getting some market sellers at these lows. Any new day opening gaps or new week opening gaps? Okay, we just got a lot of absorption at that low, actually. 61, 47, 28. I think it's probably ready to reverse. This is what I wanted to see, honestly. Oh, we're getting an outside bar. Okay, I like the outside bar. I'm going to enter with one contract. Right? Should I?
Order filled.
I'm entering with one contract. Okay, I'm in break even. So this is honestly a half risk trade because you can see it's saying 2 cons, but yeah, anyway. It's definitely more of a half risk trade. I'm not break even yet, but I'm getting close to break even. I got
Stop
break
filled.
evened out. Okay, so once again, I'm still honestly thinking we're going to come up to the 0.25 of this RTH gap. And now I think that, you know, we're below the true opens. I think we're going to continue higher here. Where's the first presented for value gap? It says it's right here. That can't be right. I thought that wasn't the first presented for value gap. I don't think that's... No, that's the gap that I drew. The first presented for value gap is right here. If we inverse the first presented for value gap, I will go in again. I have tons of conviction, and I'll probably go in with 2 cons if we inverse the first presented for value gap. It's like my textbook bread and butter setup is if we inverse the first presented for value gap. So once again, I'm still expecting longs, but I'm gonna wait for us to inverse this. And I'll likely go in with 2 cons with an aggressive stop loss beneath the first presented for value gap like this. Or maybe I might enter on a retest here. So we'll see. I might enter on a retest. That's probably what I'll do. So what's the amount? Where do I need to put it? 776. Once again, getting cooked on there being no internal liquidity sweep. Finally, we get internal liquidity get swept. I mean, I'm not opposed to just taking this 1 minute change in state here. But this is the first center for value gap. There's an external gap here. With this going into the macro though, so 7-7, basically 7-7-7 is where I need to put the limit order. So let's see.
Order filled.
I accidentally got in at 785. Whoops. Wait, is this trade even valid? Did we not close above it? Well, we're about to close above it, so... Actually, this trade might not even be valid. This trade's not even valid. Oh my gosh. Well, actually, no. Now it's valid. Now it's valid. It wasn't valid, but now it is. It wasn't valid, but now it is. Why did it remove my stop loss? Hello?
Order filled.
It's still gonna play out. It's still gonna play out. Oh my gosh, it's still gonna play out. It's still gonna play out. No, it's still gonna play out. No. No. I should have gone in with one con. Why did I go in with two cons? Why did I go in with two cons? I could have gone in with one con. I took it invalid. I took it wrong. I took this trade incorrectly. I needed to take it with one con. I took it with two cons. Because I thought I was supposed to take it with two cons. Oh my gosh. This is exactly what I wanted to see, too. I'm not going to be able to trade on live soon. For the journal. You could even target these equal highs. Alright, I gotta end the stream.